Lane here. Wanted to put together a quick video of kind of like a get to know me type deal, just to give you guys a better understanding of who I am. So that way when you read my books, my novels, you kind of feel like you know the author a little bit. So that said, I'll do my best to give you a quick rundown of who I am in a nutshell. To start with, my name is CJ Harris. I go by the pen name of Randall Lane, which is in honor of both my grandfathers. My grandfather on my mom's side, his name was Randall, and my grandfather on my dad's side, his name is Lane. So I just mashed the two together and wanted to do that in honor of them. I'm originally from the small town of Clover, South Carolina, which, if you don't know where it's at, it's about a 30-45 minute drive outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. That's where I'm originally from. Moved to kind of like the Holden Beach area back in the fall of 2014 once I started going to school at Coastal Carolina. Spent a lot of time at Holden Beach and also moved to like the Myrtle Beach area, Conway area. So got to know the area really well, Myrtle Beach, Conway, and Holden Beach, Sunset Beach. Did a lot of fishing, a lot of saltwater fishing, and so I'm real familiar with the areas. Played baseball most of my life since I was about the age of about 8 or 9 years old, up until about a year and a half ago. Played a lot of travel ball, a lot of showcase ball, so did a lot of traveling, from Florida to New York to Canada, and just a lot of everywhere in between. So did a lot of traveling when I was younger, playing ball, and was able to play high school and college. Played at four different colleges. Started out at Wingate University my freshman year, which is a D2 school outside of Charlotte, North Carolina. I played there my freshman year as a starting pitcher. Then I transferred to Belmont Abbey College for a really short stay. Then I moved to Southeastern Community College, which is a junior college in Whiteville, North Carolina. Played there my sophomore year, and then I transferred to Coastal Carolina, where I made the baseball team as a walk-on. Spent 2 years with the baseball team at Coastal from the fall of 2014 to the spring of 2016. And if you've been following college baseball for the past few years, you likely know that Coastal Carolina won the World Series back in the summer of 2016. Unfortunately, I wasn't a part of the team. I got cut in the spring of 2016, right before we went on to win everything. But it's still a fun experience, being able to pull for the guys and cheer for the guys. I knew the team and everything, and spent the past 2 years with them. And it was a really cool experience for me to be able to be a part of that. And like I said, to have that experience and everything, wouldn't trade it for anything. I guess really kind of going back to like where my writing journey kind of began. It really all starts with a book that I found in Walmart back when I was about 10, 11 years old or so, called Monster by Frank Peretti. Now, at the time, I didn't have a clue in the world who Frank Peretti was. Didn't know anything about any of his books or anything like that. I just happened to see the book in the checkout aisle at Walmart, and I saw the cover of it and the title, and me growing up watching Goosebumps and a lot of scary movies and stuff, I thought the title was pretty cool, Monster, and I liked the cover of it and everything. So I convinced my mom and dad to get it for me, probably up to like $7 or $8 or something. I think it had just come out, probably been out maybe 6 months or a year or so when I got it. Took it home, and I probably read it at least 3 or 4 times, front to back, within the first year or so that I had it, and I've read it countless times since. And I guess that book really just kind of developed an interest in storytelling, and I developed an appreciation for storytelling and books and stuff like that. So I guess that was really the start of reading supernatural stuff, mysteries, creepy stuff. I've always, like I said, always watched like Goosebumps and scary movies and stuff. Remember my aunt who lived out of town at the time. She'd come in and stay with us for days or a week at a time, and we'd always watch the latest horror film that came out, or we'd even watch the older ones and stuff. So I always, like I said, enjoyed watching scary stuff and just spooky mysteries and supernatural stuff like that. And so I guess that's really kind of where my love for all things spooky and supernatural kind of came from. My first story I wrote about 2 years ago is called The Legend of Omah, and it's just an idea that I had about a story about Bigfoot. I've always been a huge Bigfoot enthusiast, and anything related to Sasquatch I'm all ears about, And I had this idea for a story, and didn't have a clue in the world how to write or anything about writing in general. I just knew I had an idea, and I had to get it on paper. So I just started out, really kind of jumped off the deep end and learned to swim, so to speak. And I wrote the story, Legend of Omah. Ended up being about 130 pages or so. And at the time, thought that was something, thought that was a lot, but really it's just a short story, pretty much like a novella, I guess you could say. But the writing wasn't all that great. Like I said, I really didn't know much about writing and the craft of it. I just had an idea. Like I said, I had to get it down. And once I wrote my first one, I had to write another one. I had to just keep doing it. And I had the idea for The Reaping, and I went on to write that, which is my first full-length novel. Ended up being about 420 pages or so, give or take. And once again, it's a good story, but the writing wasn't really up to par. And I remember I went to a conference back in the spring of, I think, 2018, last spring, and I showed it to a lady who was a successful author and knew what she was talking about with fiction and stuff. And she read about the first 10 pages of The Reaping, and at the time, like I said, it was really just kind of a rough draft. I really didn't know how to write or anything. She read it and told me that it sounded like a really good story, but the writing wasn't really publishable, I guess you could say. In other words, she was, in a nice way of saying it, she told me that more it sucked. But still, as I continued writing, I wrote short stories and stuff like that. And then I had the idea for Devil's Den, and by this time I'd kind of developed my skill a little bit, more from Legend of Omah and The Reaping. I'd read a ton of novels, from Ted Dekker and Frank Peretti and other authors, and a lot of books on writing, and watched a lot of videos about the craft of writing and stuff. So with Devil's Den, I'd really come a long ways from where I first started at with Legend of Omah and The Reaping. So Devil's Den, that's kind of really my first novel where I really kind of applied my skill, that I was able to craft and learn, through the years. And then, I wrote that one, and now having, like I say, kind of developed my skill a little bit. I still got a long ways to go, but definitely have come a long ways from when I first started. Now I've went back and rewritten The Legend of Omah, turned into a full-length novel called Omah. I'm in the process now of going back and rewriting The Reaping, and giving it a fresh look and fresh ideas and a fresh take on the craft of writing and everything. So really polishing that up and making it a lot better than what it was. I guess give you a few ideas, kind of like my favorite scary movies, favorite scary books, things like that. I enjoyed the Grudge series growing up. I liked The Grudge. Insidious, I liked the Insidious series. Sinister, I thought Sinister was pretty good. Jeepers Creepers, and of course Bayou Creek, the original. I've always enjoyed watching Bayou Creek, and I watch it over and over again. Favorite scary book, I'd say Adam by Ted Dekker. I feel like that one's pretty creepy. It's got a really good fast pace to it. It's a quick read. Really draws you in quick and sets the hook quick and never lets go. And I really like Adam by Ted Dekker. And like countless others by Dekker and Frank Peretti, like The Oath by Frank Peretti, Monster, of course, Visitation, a lot of other ones. But Ted Dekker's Adam is pretty creepy, I think. Favorite authors: Ted Dekker, Frank Peretti, Stephen James, James Lee Burt, Thomas Harris. I like their books, I like their works they've done. I really enjoy getting my hands on one of their books. Some of my hobbies, like I said, I enjoy fishing, especially saltwater fishing. Matter of fact, I used to have a fishing channel on YouTube a while back, all about kayak fishing, saltwater fishing, where I kind of taught you how to catch a lot of local species we have here in the Carolinas, like flounder and red drum, black drum, speckled trout. Kind of showed you things I'd learned through the years, things that worked for me, techniques, rigs, things like that. So I really enjoy any kind of fishing, but especially saltwater fishing. Enjoy music, enjoy playing the guitar, piano, banjo, harmonica a little bit. Enjoy music, things like that. As far as listening to music, I'm an old soul when it comes to music. I enjoy anything from the 60s to the 80s, kind of like the classic rock vibe, like CCR with John Fogerty, Tom Petty, Greg Allman, anything from that genre and that era, I guess you could say. I also enjoy, like Bill Withers, Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, anything that's in that vein of music. Joe Cocker, guys in music, people like that. And I also enjoy the contemporary Christian artists today, like Zach Williams, Lauren Daigle, Crowder. Really like their music and just things like that. So I guess that's me. Like I said, in a nutshell. If there's anything that I didn't answer or didn't talk about that you'd like to know about me, just let me know in the comments. Ask a question in the comments. I'll answer it the best I can, and let you guys know a little more about me. So if you have any questions, let me know. Let me know what you're thinking. And hope you guys take care. All the best.